Greetings, sports fans. ASMR Sports. Back in your business. Alright, today is one video I've been looking forward to because I quite enjoy these particular kinds of treats that you see before you. I have 5 different kinds of wafer cookies. Now, you may be familiar with wafer cookies from Nabisco. I think Keebler makes the ones that have been around the longest in the U.S. Used to see those vanilla ones, like, you know, stuck in a sundae or something at an old-time ice cream shop back in the day. And eventually they came out with like chocolate and strawberry ones as well, but those vanilla ones were kind of a classic cookie of like the 80s that I remember. And then a couple of other manufacturers came out with wafer cookies that kind of, you know, depended on where you lived, because I think they were sort of regional. In my area, we have Fordman's, Voortman, wafer cookies in the local stores. But I saw these, I think they were like on sale when I got them, or at least one or two of these flavors was on sale at Amazon. So I said, you know what, they're only like $1.25 per pack, even when they're not on sale. So let me just get a bunch of them, and we'll do a little taste test. Now, a couple of these got banged up to high hell in the package because there was like something heavy with it, and they just like shoved it all in a box, in a pretty large box, and it was all just banging around. So like they're basically powder. I think this is one of them that got beat up, the hazelnut. Find the other one. Coconut, I think, was probably the other one. Yeah, the other ones seem much firmer. Now, I think there are probably like a couple other flavors, like maybe strawberry, but I don't know, the fruity flavors are not that compelling to me. I wonder if you all have a favorite, you know, kind of flavor of these wafer cookies. By the way, this brand, I looked it up, Bauduco, or Bauduco. They're a Brazilian brand. These are made in the United States, but the brand is originally from Brazil. So presumably at one point that was the only place you could get these. And it was an Italian immigrant to Brazil that came up with this product. So there's sort of an Italian product, really. So we've got coconut, hazelnut, vanilla, peanut butter, and chocolate. Now I have to say, I have ones that the flavors that I, you know, personally think are going to be my favorite, because I just love those flavors. I won't really tell you what those are, but it may impact, you know, I think everybody's going to have their own favorite flavor, but I'll try to be objective and sort of tell you what I think the best ones are from a somewhat objective point of view. So I think maybe I'll start with the basic vanilla wafer, a classic, if you will. See, there's a little tab here on the top to pull. I'm hoping these aren't super crumbly, because I don't want to get my mat all covered with crumbs. But I guess I can just vacuum it up. Alright. Wow, it goes all the way around, and of course it is making crumbs. I don't want to eat too many. I really just want to eat like one of each flavor, one cookie. Otherwise I'm gonna go into, you know, diabetic shock. So look at all that. Yeah, this is already going poorly. I should have probably had like a plate, but I'm an idiot, so I do not have any such plate. So I'll put these on the side. Hope to God they don't make a giant mess. But here's vanilla. Let's check it out. Okay. sort of tender, not real, like, hard at all to bite compared to some of the other wafers I've had in my life. I think that's a good thing. You want a tender kind of a bite, I think, usually. Sometimes these kind of cookies have sort of a, I don't know, waxy film kind of aftertaste or after texture because of the palm oil that's used. I think in some cases they might use like shortening, but these don't have too much of a kind of an after effect like that, so that's good. So vanilla, it's classic. I would certainly enjoy eating lots of those. So nothing really stands out though compared to other vanilla wafers that I've had. I don't think, anyways. It's probably been like 3-4 years since I've had any other vanilla wafers. I'm working on memory, but so yeah, if you fancy yourself some vanilla from some wafer cookies of any kind, Amazon, I guess, is the place to go. Alright, we're gonna do chocolate next. I expect the chocolate to be pretty similar to hazelnut. Man, this is making a giant mess. Alright, there you go. Doesn't quite look like the wrapper does it, but it never does, so. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I would say not like crazy good, but pretty basic. Chocolate and wafer cookie flavor. Almost kind of has a hint of like cinnamon, but I can't imagine there's cinnamon in here. Cocoa powder, just says natural chocolate flavor. Yeah, I don't know, interesting. I sort of think it sort of tastes like, maybe it's just the type of cocoa powder they use. Chocolate is kind of like, sort of wine, and it can have a lot of interesting, subtle notes of different flavors in there. Alright, here's peanut butter. I really like peanut butter stuff. We'll see kind of how potent the peanut butter flavor is. A lot of times peanut butter stuff is not particularly like salty, and I feel like you have to have salt in a peanut butter kind of pastry or candy, or it just doesn't do justice to the peanutty flavor. I might take 2 of these. We'll see. The amount of crumbs here is absolutely obnoxious. Alright, there it is. Going in. Okay. Yeah, that's just very sweet. Not really any saltiness to that peanut flavor. That, my friends, is a shame, I think. Yeah, I don't know, not a big fan of this one. Even though I love peanut butter. I'm gonna drink some smart water. Alright, so the color of the wafer on these coconut ones is substantially darker than the color of the wafer on the packaging of the other 4 flavors. So I don't know if that means this has a special kind of flavor to it or what the deal is, but we're gonna find out. Alright, prepare for an avalanche of crumbs, guys. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that big pile of crumbs sitting on the top right there. Look at that, just crumb after crumb. I'm gonna try to sneak this out. Yeah, without. Oh man, look at that. Back in there. Well, there you have it. I mean, the cover of this thing made it look like the middle was white, but that looks just as brown as the cookie. But overall, a very dark kind of experience. Smells very coconutty. Wow. I like that one. It's got a very nice coconut flavor, pretty rich flavor. I don't. One time I had to look these up because I couldn't sort of like remember if they actually existed or if I was just imagining them. But when I was a kid, there was a Little Debbie. You guys probably all know Little Debbie snacks. There was a type of Little Debbie that was like it was like those peanut butter wafers, that are covered in chocolate. Except it was like coconut flavored and it had like a white chocolate around it. And God, I just love those things. It was such a unique flavor. When I was a kid, I think I just didn't really eat anything else that had coconut, so that was the only place I could get it. I think I looked those up like, I don't know, a year or so ago to see if they existed, and sure enough they did. They don't exist now, I don't believe. But they did back in the 80s and probably 90s, and man, I loved those things when I was a kid. So these ones really remind me of that. They obviously don't have the rich, kind of white chocolate cover on them, but they definitely remind me a lot of those with the coconut flavor that they do have, so that's kind of neat. Little Debbie, like one time when I was looking up those coconut wafer things, like I saw, all sorts of different, like, now defunct Little Debbie flavors from the past that I remembered a lot of. I feel like Little Debbie was kind of a staple for especially like poor families, which I grew up in a very, very poor family, although it's funny, we didn't really have a ton of Little Debbie stuff. But I remember I used to go to school, and there was this kid, his name was James, I think. And James, every day, he came to school with a lunchbox just jam-packed with Little Debbie's, like 10 or 12 Little Debbie snacks, and I, for the life of me, cannot figure out how that worked. Why he had, I think he did have like a sandwich in there, but he just had a mountain of Little Debbie snacks every single day, and of course, there was like a line at lunchtime, to try and ask him to give you one of his Little Debbie snacks, and I was, pretty good friends with him, so yeah, I usually got one. And it was kind of a big deal because, I was poor, and, a free Little Debbie snack was like a huge deal, so to get those on the reg, pretty awesome stuff, so thanks, James, for that. I kind of wonder, I often think, like, nowadays, like, I wonder if his parents, like, worked at a grocery store or something, and sometimes they had to, I'm sure they have to throw those out at some point if they, reach past their expiration date and they don't sell or whatever. And, maybe they just got to take a bunch of them home, and so they just had, like, stockpile of them, so they just, said let the kids have as many as they want for school. I don't know, either that or they worked at the factory that makes those and they were embezzling them, but I like to believe that's not true. Alright, last flavor, guys, is the hazelnut again. I mean, this does look similar to the chocolate, but my theory is it will taste like the chocolate, because often hazelnut stuff has chocolate, in the hazelnut cream. So let's give this a go. Okay. Well, yeah, it's a little different than the chocolate for sure. It's kind of just a subtle, sort of nutty, hazelnut kind of flavor. Just sweet. Nothing too crazy. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm honestly kind of scared to line these back up because I feel like the more I do that, the more crumbs we're gonna see. But I don't know, maybe we'll give it a go. Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna lay them so you can see the name of the flavor on the edge there, and give you my honest ratings here. This one's gonna be upside down, just because otherwise it's gonna fall out. All right, number one, I have to say, is gonna be the coconut. I'm doing this in like the reverse order, not in countdown order. Coconut was the best. Second best, vanilla, classic, quality, sort of basic wafer flavor. Gosh, after that, I would say peanut butter is, very shockingly to me the worst. Just because I love peanut butter so much, but I feel like they did a very poor job of representing my dear peanut butter with that cookie. So I think this might be last. So what's best between hazelnut and chocolate? Geez, I don't know. I'm gonna give a slight edge to chocolate just because it's a more prominent flavor. The chocolate one than the hazelnut. The hazelnut is nice, but chocolate has a kind of a slightly deeper flavor. I will say these are pretty low quality products. This is not like high end kind of pastry product, but so there wasn't a lot of richness in the flavor of really any of these. The coconut was the best in terms of that richness of flavor. The other flavors were pretty muted, kind of boring. But chocolate was a little bit stronger than the hazelnut, so I'm going to say chocolate gets third, hazelnut fourth, and peanut butter fifth. So that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed, and that maybe if you like the coconut and vanilla ones, you'll go grab some of those. But the other ones I might skip, just because they did not, I think, seem all that great from the taste test. So, all right, folks, that's what we got for now. Hope you guys are doing well, and we'll see y'all next time with a sports card or sports related video. Have a great one.